Fallout 4. Art. What is art? Or rather, what is art in the aftermath of atomic nuclear devastation? Bethesda would tell you that this is art. Or this. Or this. Or even this. Yes, there is a variety of art within Fallout 4, and we're here today to examine it. Every single last piece. At least for all those that you can build in your settlements. But this is a community effort after all, so leave a comment below and tell me what you think of Bethesda's art. And while you're down there, please like and subscribe. I'd like to continue making videos like this into the future. Your support makes this all possible. Now, let's begin. Before you is the art chart that I have put together to discuss the art within Fallout 4. I will go over the history and background of each of these pieces on display. I have organized these pieces into 5 distinct categories, those being the pre-war modern art, the animal, nautical, and landscape art, quest-related art, developer inserts, as well as a unique piece. Let's begin with the quest-related art. However, be warned that these pieces have a more sinister origin compared to the rest of the pieces on display. The first 3 portraits are of Jack Cabot, Imogene Cabot, and Lorenzo and Wilhelmina Cabot. But don't let those haughty appearances deceive you. No, the quest to receive these portraits is quite the tale here in Fallout 4. The story of these portraits begins with the quest, The Secret of Cabot House. Led by the inscrutable Jack Cabot, the Cabot lineage is steeped in legend, a saga of immortality, unearthly abilities, and the cost of delving too deeply into forbidden knowledge. Guided by Jack's cryptic guidance, the player uncovers evidence of experiments conducted by his ancestor, Lorenzo Cabot, centuries ago. It becomes apparent that Lorenzo was no mere mortal, but a being of extraordinary capabilities, whose powers threaten to unsettle the delicate balance of the world. As the quest progresses, the player is confronted with moral quandaries and the unsettling realization that the Cabot's quest for knowledge may have dire consequences for all those who come into contact with them. The boundaries between right and wrong blur, leaving the player to question their own convictions and loyalties. At the conclusion of the quest, the player receives the ability to place these portraits at their settlements. And here is our next set of Fallout 4 quest-related art. Hidden amidst the rubble-strewn alleyways of post-apocalyptic Boston lies a haven for those who revel in the macabre and the grotesque. Known only as Pickman's Gallery, this clandestine refuge serves as a testament to the darker aspects of human nature, preserved within its crumbling walls like morbid works of art. Upon entering Pickman's Gallery, visitors are greeted by a chilling tableau of horror. Adorning the walls are paintings that depict scenes of unimaginable violence and depravity, each brushstroke a testament to the twisted mind of its creator, the elusive artist known simply as Pickman. But it's not just the artwork that sets Pickman's Gallery apart, it is the stories whispered among the denizens of the Commonwealth, the tales of disappearances and grisly murders that hint at a darker truth lurking beneath the surface. For Pickman is more than a mere artist, he is a predator, stalking the shadows in search of prey to immortalize in his ghastly masterpieces. These pieces of art from The Secret of Cabot House and Pickman's Gallery in Fallout 4 pay homage to the works of H.P. Lovecraft, a renowned writer of cosmic horror fiction. Lovecraft's stories often feature ancient otherworldly entities and forbidden knowledge that drives characters to madness. Similarly, in The Secret of Cabot House, players encounter the Cabot family, who guard ancient secrets tied to an immortal being with extraordinary powers. This theme of forbidden knowledge and its consequences echoes Lovecraft's exploration of cosmic horror. In Pickman's Gallery, players uncover a hidden art gallery filled with grotesque paintings depicting scenes of horror and violence. This mirrors Lovecraft's fascination with the grotesque and the macabre, as well as his exploration of the human psyche's darker aspects. After all, Pickman's model is likely the titular story on which the location is based. By drawing on these themes and motifs from Lovecraft's works, The Secret of Cabot House and Pickman's Gallery add depth and atmosphere to Fallout 4's world, enriching the player experience with elements of cosmic horror and psychological suspense, which is all contained within these art pieces on display. One last interesting tidbit on the Jack Cabot portrait. Jack Cabot's appearance and mannerisms and first name are based on real-life rocket scientist Jack Parsons, known for his experimental work with rocket propulsion in the 1940s and for being a leader of the OTO, a religious group which practices magic and rituals. It's also likely that Jack Cabot's appearance is based on Grady Louis McMurdy, a friend of Jack Parsons. Let me know who you think has a more similar appearance to Jack Cabot in the comments below. We will now move on to the pre-war modern art. The birth of modernism and modern art can be traced to the Industrial Revolution. This period of rapid changes in manufacturing, transportation, and technology began around the mid-18th century and lasted through the 19th century, profoundly affecting the social, economic, and cultural conditions of life in Western Europe, North America, and eventually the world. New forms of transportation, including the railroad, the steam engine, and the subway, changed the way people lived, worked, and traveled. Before the 19th century, artists were most often commissioned to make artwork by wealthy patrons or institutions like the church. Much of this art depicted religious or mythological scenes that told stories intended to instruct the viewer. During the 19th century, many artists started to make art based on their own personal experiences and about topics that they chose. With the publication of psychologist Sigmund Freud's The Interpretation of Dreams in 1899 and the popularization of the idea of a subconscious mind, many artists began exploring dreams, symbolism, and personal iconography as avenues for the depiction of their subjective experiences. Challenging the notion that art must realistically depict the world, some artists experimented with the expressive use of color, non-traditional materials, and new techniques and mediums. Similar to the Industrial Revolution, which saw the mechanization of industry and the rise of mass production, the Atomic Revolution in Fallout 4's pre-war society ushered in a new age of innovation and progress. Nuclear energy became the driving force behind economic development, with nuclear power plants providing clean and abundant electricity to cities and industries. Just as the Industrial Revolution revolutionized transportation with steam engines and railways, the Atomic Revolution in Fallout 4 introduced nuclear-powered cars, trains, and robots, transforming the way people lived and worked. These technological advancements promised a future of convenience and prosperity, fueled by the seemingly limitless potential of atomic energy. Thus, it is no wonder why we see a continuation of similar themes and motifs to the modernist movement in Fallout 4's art, as their society underwent another similar transformation following World War II. We will now transition over to the Animal, Nautical, and Landscape section. In Fallout 4, the Commonwealth serves as the primary setting, offering a vast and varied landscape for players to explore. This is reflected in the art you can build. Despite the devastation wrought by nuclear war, pockets of civilization still cling to life in the Commonwealth. Scattered throughout the barren wasteland are resilient farmsteads, where settlers toil the land in an effort to eke out a living amidst the ruins. Nature's begun to reclaim much of the Commonwealth, with overgrown foliage taking over the land once dominated by civilization. The many fields and forests of the area contrast well with the ruined cityscapes. The coastline of the Commonwealth offers a stark contrast to its inland territories. Here, the remnants of once thriving seaside towns and cities stand as haunting reminders of the world that was. The crashing waves and salty air evoke a sense of both beauty and danger as the sea continues to shape the landscape even in the wake of destruction. Perched atop rocky cliffs overlooking the sea are the iconic lighthouses of the Commonwealth. These towering beacons once guided ships safely to shore, but now stand as solitary sentinels amidst the chaos. Some have been repurposed by survivors as makeshift shelters or lookout posts, while others remain untouched, their beams of light forever extinguished. Scattered throughout the coastal waters of the Commonwealth are the remnants of humanity's maritime prowess. Derelict boats and ships ranging from small fishing vessels to massive cargo freighters dot the horizon, serving as both obstacles and opportunities for exploration. Among the art of Fallout 4 are a collection of animal paintings. In particular, a few of the kitten portraits in the game are based on developer Nathan Perky Powell's cat, Galen. Unfortunately, Galen passed away in 2020, but their memory will live on in many player settlements. And here are the developer inserts. I have not found direct attribution for these paintings, but if you know which developers they are based on, please leave a comment below. I can, however, make a strong guess for these next three. This first piece holds a strong resemblance to Nate Perkypile, a developer on Fallout 4. This piece resembles John Gravato, a concept artist on Fallout 4. And last, but certainly not least, we have Todd Howard himself making an appearance in Fallout 4, emulating Jacques-Louis David's Napoleon Crossing the Alps. This unique painting can be found in General Atomic's factory, and is a portrait of Dennis Mihalone's daughter. And that brings us to the end. I began this video asking what art is in Fallout 4. Art can make you feel calm and serene, anxious and afraid, or utterly befuddled. But art can also act as a gateway for creators to leave their mark on the world. Let me know in the comments below what your favorite piece is, how Fallout's art made you feel, or your first thoughts when you saw some of these pieces. As always, this is Meister Mogul wishing you a sincere farewell.